Hi everyone, it's Thebethyblueeyes here, and today I'm doing a different type of video. A couple of people have asked me how I cut my fringe or bangs in America, and I thought I would show you how I do it. Just a disclaimer, don't cut your fringe if you've never cut it before. Don't cut your fringe if you're under 18 years old, and don't do anything out of the ordinary. I have cut my fringe like this for 10 years, maybe 10 years, and I've done it a long time, and my hairdresser knows that I do it, and I always do it myself, and it's getting a bit long for me, it's a bit wonky, and basically my hair is 2 days dirty, so it's not filthy, but again it's kind of its natural state. It's totally dry, it's got no product in, again, and this is how I do mine. For this tutorial, if you want to do it, if you think you're confident enough to do it, if not, go to the hairdressers. I've got a hair clip, a comb, a tooth comb, a large brush and a pair of scissors. Firstly, rake through, no matter how long your hair is or short, give it a good old brush. Mine is very thick and always very knotty, and I just brush it through from scalp to tip all over. It will just get any knots or tangles out. And again, what I do is I brush it through, and then I end up looking like the girl out of The Ring. I brush it all forward and I just part it where it would naturally part, which is in the middle. I hold my hair back, and then I just make sure all my fringe is pulled forward like this. There might be a few ones that shouldn't be there. Pull that back. I clip all of my important hair that we're not going to chop off out of the way. Don't just do it without this, because if you cut some hair off and it won't go back. So again, that is all out of the way, just using my clip to clip it away. Then I just give it another brush through with my comb. And yeah, I've been cutting my fringe. I've had dark hair since I was 20, so 10 years. I think I probably, yeah, my first year I started cutting my own fringe, because they never cut it the way I wanted to at the hairdressers. So again, I'm really lucky. My fringe sits really, really straight. If you have curly hair, you might want to blow dry it. Again, just straight. But this is how my fringe naturally sits. It's a little bit wonky at the moment. It seems to grow more on this side for some reason. So I'm just going to just make sure that I've got every single bit of fringe. I've got my mirror here, and I'm just going to just get that mirror in there. Just going to line that up. As you can see, it is, I like to have mine above my eyebrow, so this probably needs a little bit more cutting off. And basically, I just start on one side, make sure I've got all my bits. You see there's little bits here that need trimming off, and I go for it. And again, as I go, I just do a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Don't go crazy. Don't go cutting it really, really short. If you haven't got a fringe as well, I wouldn't suggest cutting your own fringe in. This is just a way I do it to trim my own fringe. So, as you can see, I've got a few little bits there. So, and then I just start, and I just go for it. And just a little bit at a time, snippy snip. And when I get to this side, I just make sure I brush it down. I'm not cutting any more than I would normally off. And again, just brushing that through. As you can see, it hasn't made a vast difference because I haven't cut a lot off. And again, I just keep doing this technique, little bit off at a time, just until I get my fringe how I want it. And sometimes I have it shorter, sometimes I have it longer, but generally I always have my fringe above my eyebrows. I don't think I've got any videos where I haven't got it that long, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's just making sure that you just do a little bit at a time. I'm quite lucky because my hair is straight, but I would say if you have afro hair or curly hair, again, or different ethnicity, I probably wouldn't cut my own fringe, because if it was curly, you could cut a curl off and then it spring back up. And if you did this when it was wet, and you cut it kind of on your eyebrows because you want a slightly longer fringe, it will automatically just spring up and you will have the shortest fringe ever. Funny story about my fringe actually. The occasional time I get asked if I'm wearing a wig, which I kind of take as a kind of compliment, I guess. And in my hometown there used to be a guy, I used to work in a pub, and he used to come in at the weekend. I used to be really drunk, and he just used to look at me and go Choo! Like that with his hand, as if to say like fringe, and it used to make me laugh. And I don't know, it's just a little weird thing, and I guess it's a bit of a trademark for me. I never have it clipped up, I always have it down, and I've always had a fringe since I was a little kid. And if you follow me on Instagram, there's quite a few embarrassing pictures of me with my fringe. But as you can see, I do this a tiny bit at a time. I'm not cutting it off the middle, I'm really just rounding it off. Just really, just getting those edges. And again, I will check it again. I always check it the next day, make sure that it's still perfect. And I just pull all mine forward. I don't have any other special technique, and I think if you're unsure, don't do it. I'm just showing you how I cut my fringe and how I like my fringe. It's not for everybody, and the fringe doesn't suit everybody. I've seen lots of pictures of people who haven't got very nice fringes, or it just doesn't suit them, and I love it. Like, I wish I could have like Jennifer Aniston, like parted down the middle and kind of swoopy long fringe, but it wouldn't suit me. And yeah, I like my fringe the way it is. But yeah, I'm just making sure I've got all those little bits off. Just making sure there's no little bits that need trimming off, and I just keep snip, snip, snip. Again, like I say, I'm not taking off big amounts, I'm just coming round and just taking off a little bit at a time. And if there's a little bit that's just got a straggly bit, I just snip that right off. And I particularly like mine to be particularly straight round here. I just think it looks nice and it frames my face when I've got my makeup on and my eye makeup and my eyebrows done. I think it just looks, nice. And as you can see, I'm not cutting masses off, I'm just doing a little bit at a time. And I think that is my word of warning to anybody. Don't go trimming off an inch of hair if you've never done it before. I've done this for 10 years, and trust me, it is something that even now, like trying to talk to you guys and do it is quite difficult. I would normally obviously just do it on my own, minus an audience. But I think that's all I'm probably going to trim off today. And I just keep brushing it through. Again, if you have quite a thick fringe, it's also good to take maybe a layer and do a little bit, take a layer, do a little bit. But I just find it easier just to do it this way for me. And yeah, I just keep putting little bits and just snippy snip. It's a very, very hard thing to do, and it can also be a very easy thing to get wrong. So if in doubt, just go to the hairdressers. Some hairdressers I know in my town don't even charge for a fringe cut, so it's a bit silly that I kind of cut my own, I guess you're thinking, but for me, I want to cut it how I want it to look, and sometimes they want to blend it and make it look silly. So this is me doing mine, and yeah, I would love a hairdresser to come in once so he can do it for me, but I'm self trimming and it's easy for me to do. So you probably need a blusher brush or something to brush the hairs off your face, but I'm going to get in the shower tonight, so I'm not too worried about it. But as you can see, that is, I think, it. Just making sure it's straight. Perfectionist. Right, I'm going to trim this last little bit without speaking because I want to make sure that it's perfect. So excuse me 1 second. Now you're all holding your rulers up to the computer, going, is that straight? But it should be pretty much. There's a odd little bit that just needs. Just touching it like that. There we go. Right. So that is me all done, fringe trimmed, ready for another week of being Bethy Blue Eyes. Again, I hope you liked this kind of video. Somebody had requested it, so I thought I would do it. Yeah, don't trim your fringe if you've not done it before or you're nervous about doing it. I never trim the ends of my hair. I would never go crazy and do anything like that. I think it's just a case of if you feel confident and you're an adult and you're, you know, being kind of smart about doing it, even if you're just trimming a little bit off at a time. It really works for me. I do it every week, and yeah, that is me trimmed for the week. If you've got any other suggestions for videos, put them in the box down there, and have a good week. See ya.